All right, I'm just going to give you a little update on what I have done um, so far. Cleaned the Wiggle guitar. I'm considering giving it an actual name. Here's the insides, and you'll see all these green wires. These are what I added. So this was originally created in December of 2007, and it is now November of 2025. So it's like 17 years or so. Um, anyways, originally this had like two modifications. This was a toggle switch. It's still a toggle switch, but I removed the old broken one and put in a new, more less likely to break switch. And in the up position, what it does is it feeds the sound and I think motor power when you do this or push this in. It turns on this motor, which makes the neck wiggle, and somewhere in the circuitry, some of these wires somehow it turns on. When this turns on, it runs through the speaker. So I'll show you that real quick. So you heard it starting up automatically. Okay, that's how it's supposed to start up. And when you put this in, so basically this just turns on and creates some sort of glitched out feedback thing that goes through the whole audio system with the switch off. So that's on the on position is up. With the switch off, each of these buttons so you can hear the wee 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 wee. What it does is it there's a like a very short loop. You can hear it creates a different. It picks from about 6 different short loop sounds of a guitar. I don't know if you could hear that over the motor, but it's similar to how you have 6 of these. So when you turn it on, you can hear that that's the snoring sound, and it is being somehow going through the circuit and creating a pretty insane glitch. Now, for some reason, this turns on this song. So this song is now playing. So I'll explain that. Each of these is a snippet of an actual song that the Wiggles play. It's recorded into a chip here. And that's the song. You'll see I'll turn that back off. Turn this on. So it's basically, for some reason, that's making that play. So that's one switch. Okay. So that's basically a glitch switch, and it makes a whole lot of, just mangles the audio path somehow. This switch turns on this knob, which is pitch variation. So we'll show you with it off. Now I'm going to turn it on. And this slows the pitch very far down. Since this is a potentiometer, basically a variable resistor, it starts out with a certain amount of resistance, which slows the song down, and then it creates even more resistance, slowing the song down even more. Now, I'll turn this off. Every time, baby. We're going to wiggle every time. So this is a button that I added. So this I replaced the switch on, and this I've added. And what this does is it bypasses this switch to automatically, when depressed, and this is not the best on, you know, when you press it down, it closes the circuit, which allows the signal to go through. I'm going to find a better, you know, button that'll fit in this and replace it, because this one's kind of hard. You have to, it's a very, very, very cheap button. It doesn't always work. So what it does is it goes and it bypasses the potentiometer switch and automatically makes the resistance open on that wiper. So this is the ground, that's a wiper, and that's a wiper. So what it does, I'll show you real quick.
Get ready to wheel.
But you'll notice that it goes in the opposite direction. This is the most resistance. This is the least resistance. So, in other words, with this switch on, that's fastest, that's slowest. Pressing this down, that's fastest, and that's slowest. So it's very interesting. And I think, if I remember, it'll bounce from slowest to fastest, or fastest to slowest, if this is on and that's on. So let's... No, I guess the... No, it's just slowest. But at least, so it creates most resistance in whatever position. But this at least allows it to... Now with both of these running... All right, and that's what I got so far. So as I said, this potentiometer and this switch, which just basically creates the audio circuit into chaotic glitchiness. So pitch and glitch, and now I have a sort of auto pitch. I don't know what to call it. quick pitch change. So those are the three, because basically this is the same thing. So these are the three mods that I've done to it so far. And before I go, I'm going to show one more thing that I found out exploring, which I'm going to do my best to add. Alright, so this is basically how you circuit bend. You make little probes where you can touch stuff. And since this is all like, you know, battery powered, it's not in mains electric, you know, it's not, you know, getting 120 volts or whatever amount of volts, you know, high. Right now this thing has 1.5 times 3, so 4.5 volts maximum, and that is not going to fry anything. It might mess up the capacitors maybe, but it's not going to shock you or anything. So what I have in here, I'll get a song going and I'll show you real quick. I found that I can degrade the bit resolution by jumping these two and this wire. So this is some sort of jumper between a circuit on the backside. And then this resistor and this resistor, these two next to each other. I don't know if you could hear the... So you can hear distortion. Now if I jump this one, these two, wait. Vegetable soup. Alright, so it's hard to hear, but let's see. Is that the right one? Or is it this two? I'm pretty sure it was this one. Alright, hang on. Oops! Maybe it wasn't connected. Ah, God, these clips. Alright, stay. Alright. Okay, it's not doing it. Let's see. So you could hear that basically like degrades the bit resolution or whatever you want to call it. And I could swear, there it is. So this basically just creates a high-pitched squeal. I think it's just sending voltage through the audio circuit, and it's sort of, the speaker is just putting out whatever that amount of voltage is at. So it's sort of like a tone, and it kind of shows up. So you can see just poking around. Oh god, that's like that like resets the whole thing. It's like a turning it on and off. Okay, that's part of the motor circuit. Sending powder to it. Yep, see? So that's this one. Yeah, anything that touches this resistor makes the motor move. Yep. Oop. Probe popped. So yeah, that's anyways, you get the idea. That's how you find glitches. You just keep poking around until something happens. The other side of this board is where the IC chip and some other, the pads, the contact pads for these, and I think underneath here, so this is where all the contact pads are, and this area on the other side, that's probably where the IC chip is. I haven't opened it back up and flipped it over from when I originally did it. You can see the down here, a lot of the wires are going down underneath here, and I think that they travel down to here and going in between in there. So anyways, that is the fun of exploring and mangling circuit bending a electronic sound device. You can do it to more than just toys and stuff. You can actually pretty much any kind of synthesizer or audio circuit. If I remember correctly, the story goes that somewhere in the mid or late 60s, Reed Ghazala was he learned electronics and he was working on stuff. I can't remember if it was a musician or not. And he had components, possibly for radios or other things, that were in a drawer, and he had slammed the door closed on the drawer, and things shifted, and a piece of metal fell on something else, and out of the drawer he started hearing some weird sound that wasn't supposed to be there. Possibly had like a tiny transistor radio with the battery was in it, and the guts were open and something crossed, and suddenly the radio starts spitting out strange sounds. So that's what this is it's it doesn't have to be a toy. It can be almost anything that is electronic and has a speaker to put out audio, and you can rearrange the signal and electricity to do things that it wasn't designed to do, which is why he called it circuit bending. You're not destroying it, you're just rearranging the path. You're bending its circuits. So anyways, I am rambling at this point. That's what I got so far. Having fun with the the Wiggle guitar. I had a couple names that I've been like trying out, thinking about, but none of them stuck because I can't remember any of them. Okay, well, that's an update on the Wiggle guitar.